Hey, Sweat Sisters. Welcome to the Pretty Girl Sweat Show, which highlights women who are balancing demanding careers with a healthy lifestyle and hurdling over personal and professional obstacles. I'm your host, Aeshia DeVore Branch, and each week I have a sister-to-sister chat with an inspiring go-getter, and listeners learn how good things come to those who sweat. If this is your first time listening, what up? You could be anywhere in the world and you're here with me, and I really appreciate that. If you love what you hear, take a second to subscribe to the podcast so you get updates every time we drop a new episode. If you got half a second, leave a rating, which will help other sweat sisters in need of some inspiration find our podcast. If you have a minute, please follow us across all social media platforms. We are at Pretty Girl Sweat on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and YouTube. Use the hashtag PrettyGirlSweat when sharing this episode. And if you have 5 minutes, please leave a review and let us know how we're doing. You're listening to episode 11 of the Pretty Girl Sweat Show. And it's ironically fitting that our guests today are the Glenn twins. The models, actresses, authors, and TV hosts got their start in entertainment as models at age 16. Their extensive resume consists of cosmetic ads, hair ads, editorial spreads, catalogs, music videos, calendars, book covers, and roles in films, television, and commercials. From merchandising endeavors to writing their first book, the Glenn twins regard their education very highly. And even after battling with fitting in college, they both still obtained BBAs in accounting. By the end of this episode, you'll learn how their distinctively different personalities help them excel in business. You'll get the scoop on the app that keeps their fitness goals on track, and they're spilling the tea on their smooth skin secrets. Welcome. I have the Glenn twins here.
Hello. Thank you for having us.
Well, it's really a pleasure to have you two here because, I've been scrolling through your images and reading through information about you online, and you're just two interesting women. Even more interesting that you two are sisters, and even more interesting than that you are twins. Right. And so I'm always fascinated by that and how two women who look alike, may have some similar, thinking patterns as well, but also probably really different too in the same way. And I kind of want to explore that to see how you guys are the same, how you're different, and how your lifestyle began when you were just little bitty twins. So let's start from the beginning. Please tell us about your upbringing.
Okay, well, our upbringing is interesting as well. We're Army brats. So we were born into a military family through our father's side. So we're the youngest of 4 girls. So we have 2 older sisters. They're not twins. People always ask that. But no, we have 2 sisters. They tried for a boy and got 2 girls, and then they quit there.
See, wait, I would like to interject here. This is why I stopped, because
exactly.
I have 3 daughters, and my husband and I knew if we tried one more time, we're totally going to get another girl. But it's okay. Girls are awesome, so it's all good.
They are. So no, we grew up in a large family, a fun family. We traveled a lot. We grew up overseas in Germany for a little while. And then we came to the States, and we grew up in mostly California. And then Atlanta has been home predominantly for the past 10 years.
Right.
So other than that, we attended college at Savannah State University. We studied accounting. I think we kind of always knew we had a passion for the entertainment industry, but we value education, and that was also a house rule. You have to get your degree no matter what. So we did that, and we were kind of juggling both careers. But since probably the 2000s, we've been acting full-time, modeling full-time. And of course, as of late, we're now authors, which we're really excited about. And we also have another company that we're launching soon in the beauty industry. So I think that's us in a nutshell.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to hear more about that. Was that Deborah or Joyce?
That was Joyce.
Joyce? No problem. So going back to your childhood, let's talk a little bit more about your parents and maybe how they influenced you all to live healthy lifestyles or vice versa.
Mm-hmm. Well, our parents both grew up in Mississippi in really small towns. From an early age, our dad joined the military in the Army when he was 18. So he's always had a really active lifestyle. And even in terms of discipline, he doesn't believe in spanking his daughters, but he would make us work out. He would put us in boot camp and have us doing push-ups and sit-ups. So we really had an affection for working out from a very young age, going running with him. Our mom, not so much, just being from Mississippi, she really can cook absolutely anything. She does great soul food, and then traveling the world, she picks up all kinds of Mexican, Chinese dishes. But, as we started trying to be healthier, it did have some effect on her recipes, and she would twerk things and use turkey instead of pork or red meat. And so, I think our dad always had a big impact on us being healthy. And I think as we got older, we influenced our mom with the way she cooks. So, yeah.
That's awesome. What was one of your most vivid childhood memories?
Okay, well, this is Joyce. I guess I'll share mine. You can share yours if it's different. I think growing up in Germany and starting school in Germany was, I don't know, just amazing to me. I feel like that traveling part of our lives always allowed us to welcome change. And then when I kind of saw how other people didn't take change so well, it made me really grateful that we were just used to moving every year or 2 years, whether it was domestic or abroad. I think that was really influential in us just enjoying the spontaneity of life.
Right. This is Deborah. I would have to say I agree. We notice with a lot of Army brats and military kids, it's one of two extremes. They absolutely love moving every 2 or 3 years, or they hate it and they can't stand always being the new kid. But for us, it made the world seem smaller. It allows you to not be small-minded. It makes you feel small and somehow more self-aware. And welcome change, welcome getting to know new people, never having an expectation that this is my norm and anything outside of it is wrong. So it really, made us open-minded and a little bit fearless. So, we loved moving that often.
Do you have any tips for students who have to move and they're terrified of moving? How can they fit in at school?
This is Joyce. I would say being terrified is normal. Not knowing anyone is scary, especially if you don't have a family that was as large as ours. But it's that cliche age-old be yourself. Just really enjoy who you are. Everyone's unique, and that will stand out. And it may not always be popular. You may not always have the most friends, but at least you'll have real friends, which will come in handy. Just really be true to who you are, and be confident. Yeah.
And this is Deborah. The thing I would say is it's important to be involved in extracurricular activities. Just find something that you like, and when you're around people who have the same interests and and enjoy doing the same activities, it's just so much easier to click and vibe when you guys have that common interest.
Wow. Well, I'm here trying to distinguish between both of your voices. I have some nephews that are twins too, and I feel like I'm kind of like a master at this now. But which personality traits do you two share?
We're both, our mom is a Capricorn, and if people know anything about them, they're very structured, responsible, reliable, A-type, and then our dad is a soldier, drill sergeant, A-type. So we're both very A-type. We both, and then at the same time, we're both Pisces, so we have that dreamer quality. We're both very creative. Our sense of humor is the same. We both are very silly. We're really goofy, a little cynical and dark at times, and we think things are funny that probably shouldn't be. But so those are some of the similarities.
Yeah, and then our opposites definitely complement one another. This is Joyce again. I'm definitely, I think, I use the word responsible. She wouldn't agree, but I think that I like to, work first, then play. I think Deborah is a little more lackadaisical. She's definitely nicer than me, and she was known to be kind of like a pushover growing up, which is where I was like really dominant. And I don't know if we created those qualities in one another, but yeah, I guess I'm definitely a little more aggressive, and where she's very lax and relaxed.
Well, how have those similarities and differences helped you both work together professionally?
They actually work pretty perfectly professionally. Like in our personal lives, we're still struggling to find compromise, but professionally, it works out great. I think that Joyce, once again, she says she's more aggressive, so she has a tendency to want to move quickly. And I think my relaxed attitude, I believe in timing and everything being right. And when we put those two together, you know, she makes sure I'm not dragging my feet, and I make sure she's not jumping the gun. So in business, it balances out so well. And then she's very aggressive, and but I come in and make sure she's not offending anyone, or vice versa. She makes sure I'm not getting taken advantage of. You know, so we kind of cover each other's backs. So it balances great in business. Yeah. Like I said, in our personal lives, it's a work in progress. Figure it out. Yeah.
Well, when you two were growing up, did you play any particular sports together or separately?
Yeah, this is Deborah. We where did we start doing gymnastics from a young age, and then after that, so cheerleading was kind of like a natural progression from that. Competitive cheerleading. We ran track. We did play basketball for a little while. And is there anything else we did?
I think that was it.
I think that's it.
We had a love for cheerleading and competitive cheerleading.
The most.
Yeah. We did that up until college.
Well, tell us about your cheerleading coach and maybe something he or she did to influence you on and off the court. Or on and off, not the court, because it's not really basketball, but, you know, within the sport.
When we this is Deborah, when we first started cheering, I'll start from high school because that's when it got a little more serious. When it becomes competitive, I feel like it becomes more of a sport. But the first coach we had, you can learn a lot from people's right choices or their mistakes. And I think our first coach made a lot of mistakes that we learned from. She would get on a lot of the girls for their weight. She would not you know, like have favoritism as well. So I learned two things from her. First, when you're talking to women, especially young women, and along the lines of this topic, is so important that if you want to motivate and inspire them to be healthy, you have to do it in a nurturing and positive way. Otherwise, people are just going to stop eating altogether. So that was a mistake. And then the other thing is, you know, having the favoritism. Whenever you're in a leadership position, it's always important in order to maintain your authority is to be fair and just. So she made a lot of mistakes, and I learned the kind of woman I didn't want to be if I'm ever in a leadership position from our first coach. The second coach was a lot more relaxed. She picked her captains. She knew who had a lot to contribute, and she kind of let us do our thing. Probably because she was busy and spread thin, probably in her personal life as a working mom. But either way, she wasn't abusive. So,
okay. Well, that's a plus. I'm like, that is definitely a plus.
No one likes to be abused.
No one at all. Okay, so then you both decided to go to Savannah State University. What sparked that decision?
Oh, well, this is Joyce. It was easy. It was free.
Free is great.
Yeah, college is expensive, and you've got to look for resources and scholarships. Our older sister was at Spelman, and we wanted to start a legacy there, but we got the bill, and we just knew, you know.
Yeah, our older sister was at Spelman. Our middle sister was at Clark at the time. Yeah. That private school tuition expensive. Our parents were like, you guys are going to have to figure it out. So with Savannah State, they had an honors program that really catered to freshmen coming in with a certain GPA. They gave us amazing, like, living accommodations. They had our major. Spelman didn't have accounting. They had economics, but we wanted to do accounting. So it was kind of an easy choice with, you know, taking advantage of the Hope Scholarship and then other academic scholarships. It was free, so we really didn't have much of a choice.
Well, as freshmen, when you two stepped on campus, you know, did all heads turn? Like, oh my gosh, who are those girls?
It was interesting. This is Joyce. Because at the time, we were like these mega video vixens. There was just like this quick era where video vixens were the hot things. And so unfortunately, that was our introduction. So people did, there was a lot of eyes on us, and people had preconceived notions, and sometimes it was very difficult. It was extremely difficult.
A lot of jealousy and, you know, making up the rumors, referring to us as video hoes. And we understood, because we knew those women, and a lot of the women in that industry were making choices that warranted that title. We weren't, however. We would just work and then we try to get an education. So we got a lot of backlash from the reputation surrounding that job without having done anything wrong. So, no, it was a lot of jealousy. We were used to moving around a lot, and Savannah State was a small campus.
Yeah.
So
I think that was the biggest part.
They didn't have much else to talk about.
Right.
We were kind of like one of the most exciting things there. And unfortunately, we suffered socially, but we had each other, and we had our roommate and a couple of other friends. So no, it wasn't the most pleasant experience.
Wow. But how did you overcome it? Or what were some of the exact setbacks that you all had on campus?
Well, I'll start with the overcoming part, because there are a lot of compliments that I could give to the faculty.
Yeah.
Okay.
The administrators, the professors were amazing. They allowed us to to stay focused and to understand why you're there. The workload was rigorous and it was hard, and nothing was more important than stepping up to the plate. And then even up to the president and the vice president, they were just very supportive of us. They knew that emotionally we were going through a lot, but it was like a family in terms of the administration.
Right. They were very, very, very encouraging.
Yeah.
And then by the time we got to our junior year, like, accounting is just so difficult. We were taking 18 hours, and you really didn't even have time to care about your social life. You were so swamped with work. So then it seemed like it just flew by.
It just flew by. Yeah.
Okay.
And we graduated and we won.
See, that's all that matters. You got that degree. Okay. So did you two date while you were in college? And if so, how did that play an impact on your collegiate journey?
Well, this is Joyce. We did date. I guess the term relationship girls, we've always had like that one relationship, I guess, just to kind of, keep your numbers down and not date too many guys. So it was kind of intentional. And guys have, never been that much of an emphasis. We knew why we were in school. And men are supportive of that. If you're focused, and especially guys at that age, I don't think they really think about very many things in general. They're just happy to be there. So they definitely weren't a distraction. If anything, they were very supportive.
Right. And then we
extremely supportive.
This is Deborah. We have a tendency to end up dating friends.
Yeah.
If one of us is dating someone just because that other person is always around, then it kind of naturally happens that way.
Okay.
So it just ends up being like a real fun, casual, supportive group. So, so dating was pretty easy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you did mention that accounting, obviously is a very rigorous, major, but what are some hacks that you used in college that you still use today to kind of, whether it's for studying for a test or getting something turned in, like a paper? What are some of your tips?
This is Joyce. One great tip that our dad always told us was just do the things you despise doing first. Just get it out the way and don't think about it. That helps a lot. For accounting, and this may be true with all academics, read everything. Yeah. We read those books from front to back. And I know it just sounds boring and terrible, but
and it was, but you'll get used to it.
And
And then another thing that helped us was studying together. We had the same major, but our brains, I promise you, they work so opposite. So we would arrive at the right answer on different ways, and it just helped us understand everything better. So having a partner, a study buddy, just someone in your same major, your same field, to help you better understand the material is always helpful. And just so you guys can motivate each other, keep each other on track.
Well, tell us about your first jobs and what you did specifically to get your foot in the door.
Is this in the entertainment industry?
This could be like your very, very first job ever.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Funny. I remember when we were 15?
Mm-hmm.
This is Deborah. When we were 15, we went to a training at McDonald's, and we absolutely hated it. Did we do one day, or did we just do the training?
I think we just did the training.
I think we just did the training, and then we quit. But, in the summertime, we were like, we want to make money, though. So I remember we did try Burger King, and I think that lasted a month, and then we quit.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was like at a movie theater.
Yeah.
And that was really cool. And we did that until the movie theater closed. So that was pretty cool. Then as far as college, we would intern a lot for this, like state and government jobs. It was just a good experience because it was just like the stability, the benefits. It gave you a good idea if you were confused like us to see whether or not you want to pursue entertainment, or if you want something that's going to be really stable and not have you question like where your life is going to be financially. So we had the option to be like, wait, what do I want to do with my life? So we're doing accounting at like state jobs or at CDC in Atlanta. So they this is Deborah now. They helped me see very early on that that's not what I wanted. I didn't like feeling like my life wasn't exciting. I honestly feel like you should be excited about everything you do. And when you get into that habit of getting in rush hour, sitting at a job, watching the clock, getting in rush hour, going home and having very little time left to enjoy yourself, and then doing that over and over and over again, I was like, although the entertainment industry is so hard and it's so many uncertainties and unanswered questions, I was like, I'm just going to go for it. And I think Joyce kept her 9 to 5 a little bit longer. Then eventually she kind of acquiesced too and was like, okay, let's just do this. Let's just go for it. But we were conflicted for a long time about which direction we wanted to go.
So heading into the entertainment industry was definitely your biggest career risk. Tell us about that transition and maybe how you got your foot in the door for the very first opportunity you two scored.
Well, this is Joyce. We were like, in our younger years, when we were living in California, people would ask us often, do you want to model or do you want to act? And we were so shy and we were so introverted, and we would just always say no. But then we relocated here to Atlanta. There was a modeling scout who asked the same thing. And we just said, forget it. Let's just give it a try. And it was something that we had no idea we enjoyed. So I think our first jobs were like a lot of makeup contracts, hair contracts on the hair boxes you see. Sometimes extensions, just a lot of beauty products. And then it kind of led to editorials and music videos. And from there, we transitioned into doing film work, independent films and commercials and stuff like that.
Any tips for young women who are interested in getting into the modeling field? Like, how can they prepare for an audition or stay calm?
This is Deborah. I would always say, get an agent, get an agent, get an agent, get an agent. A lot of girls try to work in the entertainment industry without representation, and it's a total no-no. You always need someone who knows what's going on, know how much money you deserve, someone to speak for you, someone to argue for you, someone to protect you, someone to know what's going to be on the set before they arrive. You just, it's basically like when you're a kid and you need a parent. You need someone guiding you through this industry because sometimes it's real normal and sometimes it's real abnormal. So get an agent. And if you're having a hard time getting an agent, finding someone to represent you or believe in you, you might want to question whether or not that's something you should be doing. So, get an agent, practice a lot, always be professional. But with this industry is so inconsistent, the only way you'll learn it better is just by doing it, by working, sometimes working for free. But you just have to get representation and then practice a lot.
What would you say has been some of your biggest challenges in your careers?
This is Deborah. One of the biggest challenges for us, well, first, like I said, we have that A-type personality, and then you come on set and everything is hurry up and wait. This date changed. This location's different. So it was like a huge adjustment for us to just have everything structured and then have everything be all over the place and then be okay with it. That was one. And then I think that I think for a lot of people, us included, just understanding the importance of your brand, and then getting control over it and picking and choosing jobs that are in alignment with that, so that people you have a clearly defined brand of who you are, so that your jobs can be consistent with who you are. So when we first started out, we had no idea who we were or what we wanted to do. So I felt like our first agent accepted a lot of jobs for us that put us in that urban market. And now that we're older, we understand ourselves better. We're very commercial. We're very mainstream. So on one hand, I could feel like I wasted a lot of time or took a lot of wrong jobs. But the truth is the experience is what has molded us, what's made us so confident in knowing who we are right now. So yeah, if it's getting that brand and knowing what's right for you. But, growing up is the only way you'll know who you are. So there's no way you can, push the speed button on it and figure it out with a snap of a finger. It's just like you have to go through things that are good for you and some things that aren't good for you to arrive at that conclusion.
So then the two of you, I don't know what, I'm trying to paint the picture. You guys are somewhere maybe sitting down, brainstorming. You're like, hey, we should write a book. We have a lot to share with people, right? So maybe take us through the inspiration behind the book, exactly the moment when you two said, you know what, this is a great idea. We should do this.
Okay. This is Joyce. No, I'll never forget the moment because we had moved to Los Angeles, which we've known to do to follow work. And we were out there and we were auditioning 3 and 4 times a day, every day hitting the pavement. And it was just
for jobs that we didn't like, nothing that was career advancing.
Right.
So we were just so burned out,
exhausted,
from the hustle and bustle of being talent.
Yeah.
So then we, luckily, they start shooting everything in the Southeast and in Atlanta. We were like, awesome. We could be close to our family and we can have more acting opportunities. Rejuvenate and just get our happy back. So the book topics in the book are literally stuff we used to rant and rave about all the time. Like things that are wrong with the Black community, things that women should change.
How we see the mindset of women and young women changing in ways that are not so positive.
Right.
And then us knowing specifically what the solution was and what ways women are not being fed. So we were like, we've got to write this down.
There's no way we can keep complaining about all these issues and then not offer a solution for young women. So we just started writing. This is Deborah. I'd write by myself. Joyce would write by herself. We'd come together, and then eventually we were kind of putting all our notes together and realizing that it was basically we could narrow all the advice down into 5 topics. And then once we got our little outline going, we just kept writing. But we were just kind of tired of being discontent with certain areas. If you're not going to provide some sort of a solution.
Yeah.
So the title, Keeping Your Crown, The Black Woman's Guide to Reclaiming Greatness. Who thought of that?
I did, Deborah. I just through the course of writing it, the name it came to me very, very easily. Our parents raised us to have like so much self-love and so much pride in being Black and in being Black women. I think a lot of parents don't instill those values in their children. Yeah. Because we, as Black people, are going to be met with so much opposition when we get out into this world. It's important for you to know your strength, despite propaganda, racism, any of that stuff. It's important for you to know your strength. So we always knew that, and we're like, all young Black women need to know this.
Yeah. And our parents, like we said, they're from Mississippi. They remember. Yeah. There are people who migrated, to California or, Chicago. And sometimes they may not remember what they went through. Our parents, it was fresh on their minds. And they were like, this is something that you have to have as direction for your life. You're Black and your life is really important. And the strides you make are so important because of where we come from. And we didn't want that message to get lost with the youth either.
Yeah. So the amount of respect and adoration we have for Black women, that is so warranted. Yeah. We truly are queens.
Absolutely.
The strength that Black women possess is unbelievable to me at times. And so we truly are queens, and we want to remind Black women that. And then and all the advice in the book will help you lead to greatness by understanding and valuing yourself appropriately.
Well, you launched the book in January 2017, but how long did it take you to write it?
It was slightly over a year to complete the manuscript. And then, of course, there's editing thereafter and, fine tuning.
So probably a year and a half. A little over, about a year and a half.
Okay. Could you give girls a brief step-by-step on how in the world to publish a book? Because I think many of them are like, how do you do this?
Well, now is a good time because publishing housings are closing. People aren't really writing those huge advance checks like they are unless you're a celebrity. So there's 5, I believe, self-publishing agencies that really do just allow you to put your own work up there, move at your risk. They're not going to check if you have errors. You just have to do all the work on your own, and they'll publish it on their websites. Amazon does it, a couple other companies, and then you share your profits. And the profit sharing is pretty decent. It's pretty respectable.
You will get more royalties than you would have from a publisher. But like we said, you have to do all the work by yourself. Like no one's going to help you, design your title, edit it. No one's going to help you promote it. No one's going to help you with a marketing plan or a book tour. So it's, advantages on both sides. You get more royalty, but you're doing everything by yourself.
It's similar to the way the music business is now.
Right.
You're independent, but you do all the work. You invest in yourself, and then you could make a lot of money or not.
Well, what marketing strategies did you all use to promote your book?
It's just a cool time because of the internet in general. It's like great free marketing. I'm sure you know this with your business as well.
Yes.
But social media helps. Facebook really helps. Finding, book clubs and finding that niche.
And then networking with other Black women who have like self-care events or just really positive speaking engagements or women's empowerment events. They'll collaborate with you and allow you to bring your books and do signings. So the internet makes the world really small. And so it's a lot easier for you to find people who have similar passions and help each other grow. And then we're going to be in the process of getting PR, just so we can touch outlets that we haven't been able to touch just using our online following.
Okay. And what would you say has been the proudest moment for you two as sisters?
Oh, well, seeing the cover of the book, the actual printed book was groundbreaking for us.
And then giving a copy to our mom, and then she read the dedication.
Right.
And she always gets emotional when we compliment
her parenting.
She's very humble, so that was a nice moment for us, for her to see that her investment, didn't go to the wayside.
Well, while working in entertainment, how have you two been smart about money? Any tips that you can share?
This is Joyce. I think we've had smart moments and not so smart moments. Right. And I'm happy to share them. No. I would say this: we've noticed in the entertainment industry, business is up and down. But now that's generally how the economy is. Even if you have a more corporate situation, I would always just say save for a rainy day, live below your means, invest your money. I've noticed people who've done things differently than us. I know we rented for a while, when sometimes it's better to just lay low or stay with a friend or a family member and just purchase a home. I would say that, but definitely just live well below your means.
Right. Yeah. When we were younger, in this industry, you don't work every day, but when you do work, you get big checks. And sometimes we would get the big check and be so excited and just, be, relaxed and just hanging out with your friends and going on trips. And it's just important for people to understand, if you don't know when that next check is going to come, then act like there isn't one, and then, with the way that the entertainment industry is now, you do have to be self-motivated and seek out opportunities for yourself. A lot of the photographers or people will not just do photography. They'll teach seminars. They'll teach classes on editing. You have to be innovative and be an entrepreneur. Sometimes act as your own manager and seek out ways to make money and not just waiting for a booking.
So what has been maybe the best way and maybe one of the worst ways you two have invested in yourself over the years?
One of the best ways, for sure, is college. And education is a great investment, and it always will be. I would definitely say now, as we're building our new brand, and launching product, whether it be the book or beauty products, it's always great to merchandise and actually have live product that you can
have ownership of something.
Yeah,
I think that's the best thing we've done. The one of the worst things was two of them. I guess I touched on them. One was just letting someone manage you and not necessarily having a vision for where you see your career. And then the other thing is solely relying on just being talent, or solely relying on one source of income in order to be successable. So you have to, have a vision for yourself, and you got to branch out. But having ownership is so good. And then our education, whether or not we ended up doing that full time, the professionalism, the discipline, all those things you get from college will help you no matter what. And at some point, if you want to work by yourself, I can't undervalue the resources that graduated gave us enough. I can't.
Well, let's dive into your morning and nighttime routines. What are some things that you do at the start of the day and at the end of the day that, just help you have a successful 24 hours?
Right.
I would say, in terms of beauty regimen, we moisturize like crazy. Our friends say we're greasy, but we love vitamin E. In addition to drinking water and the smoothies, the things we put in our body and our vitamins, but we love vitamin E. This sounds so black, but cocoa butter Vaseline is amazing for your skin tone.
We do. And I mean, in addition to the external things, we've been meditating almost a year now. So 20 minutes in the morning, we'll wake up and meditate. And it really has, it just changed my outlook on everything. And it just made me the kind of person that has more patience to deal with things. Things that may have frustrated me in the past, I think are hilarious. So meditation is important. Typically, like on Mondays, after a weekend of drinking hot lemon water is amazing. And we love, love, love tea.
Yeah, we drink tea all day.
I love green tea. I love ginger tea. I love oolong tea. We just love tea so much. And then at nighttime is, the heavy moisturizing.
Well, were you always heavy moisturizers, or was it like at a certain age where you're like, you know what, I'm tired of being ashy. Let me figure this out.
We have naturally dry skin. That's our skin type. It's it gets dry. So we've always been into just drinking water all day long and moisturizing. All day.
I'm trying to get my daughters on this wave. That's why I'm asking, because they're young, they're like 7 and 9, and I'm trying to get them to like moisturize heavy, and they're just like, I just kind of like getting out the shower and like being free.
Our mom would do it. She would lather us. She'd be like, come here.
We had eczema, and then at one point when we were stationed in Fort Arm, California, it was a desert. So drinking water and moisturizing, like you just really didn't have a choice, and then it just became a habit.
Right.
Okay.
Just living in that harsh environment.
Well, what apps or tools or websites do you all use to manage your personal and your professional life?
I started using, this is Deborah, my FitPal or my Fitness Pal. I love doing that, the calorie counting. And then you could track how much water you drink. You put all your workouts in there, the days that you do work out. And that really helped me make adjustments because we love wine. We used to be heavy wine drinkers. And then I started working out more. I would see how many calories I was burning in my workout. I would see how many calories I was drinking. I was like, okay, that doesn't make sense. So it helps you, like whatever your vice is, it helps you physically see a number. That'll help you offset it and be like, okay, that's going to have to be a lifestyle change. So I love that app.
I guess I use the same one now.
Yeah, he always uses the same one.
Okay. Well, do you have any, other than your book, do you have any other favorite books?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
We both just finished Michael A. Singer, The Untethered Soul. I got that from, I think, one of the meditation series, one of Oprah's meditation series. She quoted from his book. So I'm constantly looking for Oprah to see what to read next. Of course, we love Michael Eric Dyson, Tears We Cannot Stop. We just read that. A lot of really conscious books.
Michelle Alexander, The New Jim Crow. It's depressing, but it's
you got to know your history.
Yeah, for sure.
Your history, and then
we like spiritual books. We love Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now and A New Earth. Those are must reads for everyone who just wants to find peace and understand happiness.
Yeah, all of his stuff is amazing.
And what are your exercise habits? How often do you ladies break a sweat?
We love working out. Yeah. And this is so funny because it depends on
our hair.
Of course. And we'll get into that too. Okay.
Right. So like we just washed our hair. We'll do weights, and light walking. But if the hair is done and it's, time to put it in a bun, then we'll do heavy cardio. We love the elliptical. We'll do that 5 times a week. We love the elliptical. We like sprint intervals. We like, we love cardio. So it just depends on what condition our hair is in. And then, as we're getting older, we're incorporating more and more weights.
Yeah.
So say if you had a sweaty workout and you have somewhere to go after, what are your tricks for making your hair look decent?
Well, we're bun girls, so we love Bun Life.
Okay.
So we have a lot of products we use. We like Soft and Beautiful. They have like a hair conditioner, leave-in conditioner. Mm-hmm. And then there's this new company, but I think it's just called Edges.
Okay.
And you can use that and it'll slick, your edges down and the back. And it'll just give it a really nice, clean looking bun.
Yeah, and then we'll just do a lot of makeup.
Well, tell me more about Edges, because now I'm intrigued. Okay, so is it is it more like a gel or is it more of a waxy
it
kind
has
of?
the consistency of a gel, but it's soft,
it's lighter,
and flexible. Yeah,
like it won't stay in. Like you put it in, and then the next day it's like you never used it.
It absorbs.
So it absorbs. It's really soft. It's not like gets crusty or hard or anything like that.
Oh my gosh, I need that. I have to check that out.
We found it at Bronner Brothers. I guess they gave us samples.
They gave us a free sample, and
now we're addicted.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up. All right, great. Okay, so when you're in a group fitness class, where do you stand? The front, the middle, or the back?
Well, to be honest, like I haven't been at a lot of group fitness classes. This is Deborah. Not that often. We're so serious, So we normally like work out alone or we'll work out together. But if I were to take a group class, I would probably get in the back.
And then Joyce, I was going to say I'd be in the front.
And that's interesting to hear the difference in that. So that speaks volumes about the two of you for sure. Okay, what's always in your gym bag?
Let's see, like water, of course. A scarf.
To tie our hair back, and then of course your gym rag, your towel or whatever. But and I don't listen to a lot of music when I work out, surprisingly. But most people do. I'll probably start, but
I think it's because we chat. Like we're workout buddies, and we do talk a lot.
Talk the whole time if we can.
You two are officially sweat sisters, for sure. Okay, so what are some meals that you eat before a workout, and maybe what you eat after?
Before, we'll always do our smoothie, and then we'll do nuts, like some kind of protein. But we were realizing, I can't. It's hard for me to do like a heavy meal, and then I have to wait too long, and I have stuff to do. So I just get a smoothie and nuts real quick, and then we'll work out. And then after that,
protein, chicken or fish,
some kind of lean protein, rice. Vegetables, brown rice.
Okay. Well, what tips can you give young women out there who are just like, oh, it's just too expensive to eat healthy? I can't do it.
It is expensive.
I would say this: if you're cooking at home,
that's true.
Eventually, it's going to be cheaper anyway.
Right.
Yeah. Like the amount of food that we're buying for our smoothies that's going to last an entire week, or when we freeze our fruits, it's going to last for 2 weeks. Eating out you're going to lose money in that anyway. You can't put a price on health, and it's really not that expensive.
Exactly.
It's not unaffordable. I would just say eat at home more, though. Yeah. If it's starting to be, excessive, meal prep, smoothies, but eat at home. Don't eat out.
Yeah, I know that it is difficult to try to find organic options. If you go to a Whole Foods, it really is expensive. But then they do have
farmers markets.
Farmers markets are amazing. Everything's fresh and organic, and it's cheaper. Then they have a lot of those companies. I can't think of the name of one off the top of my head, where they'll bring you a crate. You just pay every month, and whatever is in season and local, they'll just bring you a bunch of fruits and vegetables and produce. And from what I hear, that's really affordable. So it's a lot of ways if you're committed to it.
Okay. Well, when you want to treat yourself, which restaurant do you two go to?
There's a couple of them.
Yeah. I mean, there's this place in Atlanta called Two Urban Licks, and I love their salmon chips. That's like one of my favorite things. I feel like sometimes eating out in general is a luxury, because you, even if you think you're ordering something healthy, like I'm going to have salmon and vegetables, you have no idea how much butter they put in it.
Right.
To make it taste that way. So I feel like almost any time I eat out, it's a luxury.
But we still like the companies that offer, whole wheat, like Figo, for instance, is a huge pasta place, and it's fresh pasta, but they will give you whole wheat. Or like Yeah Burger, they'll give you whole wheat buns and turkey buns. We still like the companies that have the substitutes that we would like to do at home anyway.
Yeah, if we get like pizza with whole wheat crust, like that makes me so happy. So yeah.
So since Pretty Girl Sweat, which deodorant brand do you use?
We like Arm & Hammer.
Yeah, Arm & Hammer, and they just changed their ingredients to make this like it's like a more natural deodorant because I guess
Safer.
it's supposed to be safer, but Arm & Hammer.
Yeah, because it's strong, but it's supposed to be safe now.
And what do the words Pretty Girl Sweat mean to you too?
Wow. Well, I'm going to compliment you on your brand first. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It is phenomenal and it's clear. And I think it's exactly what it means. Being beautiful is being healthy.
Being beautiful is taking care of yourself. It's saying, I love myself enough to do the work and I'm worth it. So that's... Yeah.
And being beautiful is strong. You know, not worrying about going into old age and being bent in half or, you know, needing assistance. That's what self-care is, and that is beautiful. So pretty girls do sweat, for sure.
Yeah, thank you. What's next for the Glenn twins?
So we launched a cosmetics company.
Hey.
And we actually launched it last year, but we were still trying to find suppliers and stuff. So we've narrowed it down to the products we like. It's funny, we're shooting our campaigns and commercials this week. So it's called Mirror Image Cosmetics. And we do lashes, highlights, bronzer kits, and lipsticks. And it'll grow over time. But man, we could not wait to be entrepreneurs in the beauty industry because it's something we've loved for a really long time. So you guys can look out for that.
And it's the makeup we're wearing like on our Instagram for the past year. So if you like the color options or the highlighters, they'll definitely be available soon.
Well, yes, it looks beautiful. And I also love the name Mirror Image. I mean, that's pretty dope.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And we're excited. I can't wait to like buy some products and give it a try.
Yeah, we'll send you a package for sure.
Oh, thanks. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed hearing your story, and I'm sure our listeners are going to enjoy it as much as I did.
Oh, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Yes, thanks for having us.
Well, that's Joyce and Deborah Glenn, a.k.a. the Glenn Twins. Be sure to follow them across all social media platforms at Glenn Twins and visit their website, glenntwins.com. If you're into beauty and makeup just as much as we are, check out their new beauty website, mirrorimagecosmetics.com. Join us on Saturday, September 15th for the second annual Pretty Girl Sweat Fest at Atlanta. Grab your squad for the ultimate Sweat Sisterhood Fitness Festival with 700 women, 7 fun workouts, 7 Sweatlebrity honorees, 7 incredible captains, and so much more. With heart-pumping workouts coupled with the dopest female DJs, you get a first-class ticket to your favorite fitness trends and hit songs. When you're not sweating it out, you can refresh and refuel at our hydration stations, Savor Garden filled with deliciously healthy food trucks, beauty bar, and complimentary swag. Early bird tickets are still on sale to July 15th, so grab yours before they're gone. Just one more thing before you take off. Do you want to get a short email from Pretty Girl Sweat every Monday and Friday that serves as a daily dose of all things inspiring and allows you priority access to our upcoming events? Just go to prettygirlsweat.com. That's prettygirls with an S, sweat.com. Drop in your email and you'll get the very next one. And if you sign up, you'll soon discover that there's no hood like sisterhood. Until next time, always remember that good things come to those who sweat.